Mr. Ford, you are going down. Not today, Mr. Ferrari. This is one of the worst fighting games ever. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared, and I'm here with a highly anticipated movie review. And, click that subscribe button, like this video. Definitely helps me out. Anyways, though, enough of that. Let's get right into this movie. This was one that a lot of people have already seen. I was very excited for it. It's definitely going to be award-worthy come Oscar season, and it's Ford versus Ferrari. Carroll Shelby and Ken Miles team up with Ford Motor Company and go against the laws of physics and their own personal demons to go head-to-head with Ferrari. So is Ford v Ferrari one of the best films and a must-see this year? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of Ford v Ferrari if you were able to check it out, and what nominations do you think that this film's gonna get? Now let's get into some of the good. So Ford v Ferrari, right off the bat, this is obviously based on a true story. It's a biopic of sorts, dealing with almost the historical events of Ford and other motor companies, and then also dealing with these two characters, Matt Damon and Christian Bale's characters, Ken Miles and Shelby, the guy who's, the Shelby car company and all of that stuff. But man, I went into this and I was very much pleased throughout all of this movie, because it almost sets up this weird, it's very much looking at the history and the evolution of the car company, and basically how cars are almost perceived now and how companies got to where they're at. And I liked how it almost touched on this weird cinematic universe of all of these car companies. We have Ferrari, we have Shelby, we have Ford, we have a little bit of Fiat in there as well. So this is almost a nice history lesson on parts of it, but also a very touching and emotional underdog tale when you get into the actual race of Le Mans. I think 65 it is. I'm gonna mess it up. It's 66. I'm gonna correct it right here. But this almost underdog tale of the story very much plays in with the characters and the emotion. Christian Bale here and Matt Damon. Christian Bale is a complete standout, and the thing is, he looked like he was having so much fun playing this character, this role. Just when he's driving, he's laughing, he's smiling, he's having a good time. So just the fact that he looked like he was having such a great time made me have such a great viewing pleasure as well. And he is by far the standout. But then this emotion and almost bromance of sorts, the chemistry that he has with Matt Damon's character, Shelby, is something that very much ties in with almost the emotion of this underdog story as well. Them putting everything on the line, and both of their portrayals are fantastic in this movie, and I think that their chemistry builds up that emotion as well, that really the overall film very much thrives on. And obviously, with it being called Ford v Ferrari, there's not these big huge fights. It's car companies in races versus each other, and that means that there's going to be a lot of cinematography dealing with driving, dealing with cars, and it's very fast paced. And I think that the cinematography of this movie is shot so darn well. The race scenes, the way that they frame everything, it's tense. And as an audience member, it's action packed, and I'm sitting there, and throughout a lot of the movie, my palms were sweaty. Mom's spaghetti. Okay, we're gonna cut that, but getting into the actual cinematography and driving scenes, this is phenomenal. It's in the cockpit, it's showing the cars go by, it's overview, it's on these old black and white TVs, and every time they showed racing in this movie, it was one of the standouts, one of the highlights of the film. So I thought that they captured the tense, almost rivalry between these two car companies, and how almost draining, either physically or emotional, it took on these drivers through this 24-hour race, essentially. And the final thing I just have to touch on is, obviously, we're dealing with racing and all of these cars just going by. The sound design of this movie, from not only just the score and the music that they put into this movie, which very much hits that time period of this film and sets the tone, you feel the cars. You feel the sound design in this film because it is ramped up. Each car, is having their each own distinct sound, and you can hear when the RPMs are getting way up before he's having to shift and everything like that. I loved the sound design of this movie, which is so weird because usually the sound design and music and score and none of that sticks out to me, but that was one of the main highlights that makes this movie so well made. And I think, again, this is all around the story, the characters, the sound design, and just the cinematography. This is a very well made film. And there's just one little tiny thing, and this was a negative for myself. I know I talked to a couple other people, they did not care about it at all, but there's a few characters that are speaking foreign languages, and they choose to put subtitles some of the times and not some of the times. I wish they would have maybe put it in the whole time throughout the movie, but I understand the reason why they did not, because you can pretty much infer from what these characters and their body language, you know what they're saying. Small thing, not gonna ruin the movie at all. Overall, Ford v Ferrari is hitting on this historical event, and the way that it is framed on the big screen is spectacular, to say the least. With it featuring this great underdog story, historical tale, perfect performances, giving that emotion, the chemistry between them, sound design that is absolutely bonkers, and cinematography of these driving scenes are some of the best. I would highly recommend checking out Ford v Ferrari. We're getting into that time of year where all of these films potentially have award-worthy potential when we're getting to Oscars, and this is one that very much stood out to me. In closing, I'm gonna give Ford v Ferrari 4.7 out of 5 vroom vrooms. So what did you guys think of Ford v Ferrari if you were able to check it out? I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there, movie reviews, trailer reactions, fun comedy skits. The toilet is flushing right now. Anyways, though, this weekend, I think I'm going to have my AMA, Ask Jared Anything, tomorrow. Follow all of my social media, click that like button, share this video out. It seriously helps me out. And until next time, I'll see you later.